Hello? Has my mic been off this whole time? The mic glitched out. The mic glitched out. Good morning, everybody. How long did the mic glitch out? Well, yeah, no, I'm good now. I think I'm good now. Am I good now? I think so. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Joab says muted? Yeah, oh, yep. Hey, Joab, am I good now, or? Yeesh. Can I get a Lima Charlie? A little Bobo Beeves Lima Charlie on that? Good morning, Joab. If you can hear me, good morning, good morning, good morning. Marty says good morning. Good morning, Marty. Good morning, Legal. Good morning, Joab. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. All right.
UIO wants YXT
Oh.
on X.com.
UIO asks for YXT. All right. We'll take a good look at that in just a second. All right, we're going to take a look at YXT. Bobo Beebs says, howdy. Finally hearing you, Lima Charlie. There we go. Copy that, Bobo. There we go. We're all set and ready to go there, ladies and gents. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just got to make sure we're live on everything. Just got to make sure we're live on everything here. Boom. All right. So we got that going on right there. All right. Joab says, hearing you loud and clear. That's excellent. Good news, Joab. Yes, sir. That is excellent news. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, be sure to check out our free Discord and see the Discord exclusive live stream, as well as the occasional Discord pics and other things right over here. Link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, because, you know, we got that free stuff going on. Gives everybody a nice little taste of the premium. Gives everybody a nice little taste of the premium and what is to come. It's like a sample, you know, a little sample of what's to come. So be sure to check that out. Get access to exclusive Discord live streams with the free roll. Get access to the free roll and get access to the exclusive Discord live streams, the occasional picks, and of course, many, many, many more things. So be sure to check that out as well, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check all that out. Yes, sir. All right. All right. There we go. Alrighty. And of course, ladies and gents, be sure to check out the 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Give me 1 second. 1 second here. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, give me just a sec, ladies and gents. All right. Yesh. All right. Nick on Facebook says, good morning, doubles. Good morning. Good morning, Nick. Good morning. All right. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our merch as well. That is another thing that we got going on right over here. Another thing that we got going on right over here has all sorts of t-shirts, hoodies, lids, cup and handles. When I say cup and handles, I mean it's got the lovely, beautiful mugs. It has tumblers. We got mouse pads. We have all sorts of cool stuff like that, ladies and gentlemen. We have the stickers, all that good stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check all that out. Be sure to check all that out right there. Let me just get the announcements out over here, and we should be good to go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a look at the wonderful, wonderful FGI, and then we'll take a look at YXT, which was a request from one of our guys on X, Stockman. All right, we'll take a look at his We'll take a look at YXT. All right. Yes. Good morning. All right. Let me just get all this stuff shared up over here, and we should be ready to go. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. All right. All right. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Here we are. All right. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, while I am sharing this up, I have to admit I have sinned, ladies and gentlemen. I have sinned. I didn't have Taco Tuesday this week. I have Taco Thursday right now. I know, cardinal sin. I know. For shame. For shame. Delta double strikes again. I know. I know. It's Taco Thursday, man. I know. I know what they. I know. Oh God, the club can't even handle me now. Oh no. All right, just getting everything all set up here. But yes, ladies and gentlemen,
Let's like up the stream and
let's
share it.
let's get some likes going on. Let's get some shares going on. Let's show it some love. Get that free Discord if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen. Get that free Discord if you haven't already. All right. And if you want to get the $9.99 for the first 4 days, you get that too. Link is in the description down below, ladies and gentlemen. Link is in the description down below. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me just get all the announcements up. Let's get a like party going on here. Like it up. Share, ladies and gentlemen. Share it with your mom. Share it with your dad. Share it with your brother, your sister, your cat, your dog. All that good stuff. Yes. Share it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to the first 100. First 100. First 100, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. All right. There we go. All right, all right, all right. All right. All right. Let's get that share party going on, ladies and gentlemen. Share it up, share it up. All right. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let me just share this on the YouTubes. Boom. We got that going on. And we're taking a look right now at FGI. FGI ran up a nice 101%. Run at 101% right there. All right. We got that going on. Hold on 1 second. There we go. We just share it over here. All right. All right. All right. We're good. All right. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started. Let's talk about FGI, and then we'll go into YXT. FGI has a nice little ABCD pattern going on right over here. A nice little ABCD pattern going on. So it had a shot up a little bit over here. Boom. A to B, B to C, C to D, before forming a little bit of a descending wedge as of now, right at the top of the ABCD pattern right over here. Hit $9.72, proceeded to go back down and hit a nice little descending wedge right over here. Needs to hold above the $8.71 resistance line, or actually, excuse me, support line, and needs to break that high a day at $9.72. So right now, FGI needs to break the descending wedge and the high a day at $9.72. Ran up 102%. All right, and that's what they got going on, folks. That is what they got going on for FGI. FGI. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay. Let's get going. All right. Now let's take a look at YXT as requested. YXT did have a bit of a pop and drop going on over here. YXT Group Holding Limited was an American Depository share, but it is a China stock, up 17%. Had a conclusion of a conference call that recently happened. There were H1 earnings that were released today before the market opened. It did have a nice shot upward over here before dropping back down over here and forming a resistance at $7.11 before dropping back down below VWAP, and as of now is currently consolidated with a choppy bit of price action just below the VWAP right now. So as of now, YXT, this is a China stock, not entirely reliable, so not a big fan. Not a big fan of this one right now. YXT had a shot up, dropped back down, needs volume to break the downtrend, because it does have a downtrend right over here. It needs volume to break the downtrend right over here. The downtrend and the VWAP at $6.03. For it to be so much mexy to me, it looks like it is starting to become a bit more consolidated underneath there. All right, and there we go. There we go. Well, Beef says, I saw FGI just before its big push up and caheaded the heck out of it. The heck out on it. Well, hey, I'm glad you made your money there, Bobo. I'm glad you made your money. He said on the CNM Discord, of course. My man. Yes, sir. There we go. There we go. There we go, Bobo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. FGI. All right. So actually, we'll actually look at that right there. Oh, XHG seems to be moving up as well. XHG. All right. XHG just had a shot upward and then pulled right back down. XHG ran up a nice 188%, but it was a China stock, shot up like a Dickens on a price spike and then proceeded to pull back. So XHG, price spike up 188% right there. All right. And yeah, XHG. All right, price spike up 188%. Popo Beeves wrote cash the heck out on stupid fingers. It's no worries, Bobo. It's no worries, brother, man. XHG currently up 225%. 225% right there. Oh, my. Oh, my. Hold on. Yep, 253%. 257% right there. 257%. All right. There's another China stock as well. Now up 257%. That is the high that it just hit. So that's what we got going on right there. XHG price spike up 257%. All right, 1 second. All right. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. XHG now 293, 341, and just climbing its way on up right now. 341% right now. 341%. Oh my. Oh me, oh my, oh. Woo! 383 and climbing. 420 and climbing. 427. 555. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's climbing. Now up 555%, ladies and gentlemen. 555%. Alrighty.
Crazy price action.
Yeah, it does have a crazy price action going on there with this stock. Broke above the VWAP, and it is currently curling its way on upward right now. XHG, very crazy price action. This was alerted at 32%, believe it or not, on the private Discord. So yeah, had a shot upward like a rocket just now, up 555%, 555% right there. Oh my. So there we go. Yes sir, yes sir. All right. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. So yeah, as of now, we got that 555% runner. Which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want access to the private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check it out. Get that 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check it out. And if you want a little taste of what the premium Discord, if you want like a little taste of what the premium Discord, just a teeny tiny sample, you get the free roll, which is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, and you get a little taste of what we got to offer on that private Discord right there. That private Discord, because you guys have asked for it, you guys have requested it, and we have delivered, ladies and gentlemen. We have delivered, so be sure to check it out. All right. As of now, XHG doing its thing right there on the uptrend. We got that going on right there. So we're going to take a look at some other stocks in the meantime while XHG does its thing, because it is pulling back a little bit. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. XHG has a 47 million float, 14 million volume, so it is moving on low volume. I don't entirely trust the stock as of now, but it did have a nice move up 555%. So we can't discount that right there. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is right there. All right, let's take a look at FGI, see what FGI is up to. FGI is pulling its way back down as of now, pulling its way on down. All right, had its move up 102% right there. Did have its move going on right there. Now it needs to break the downtrend right there. Has to hold above the VWAP at $8.20. Has to hold above 8.20. Has to break the resistance line at 871 for it to be somewhat mexy to me. So yep, FGI is now on that downtrend, pulling back. Was a bit overbought in the RSI, so it had that going on right there. It did have that going on. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. FGI needs to break the downtrend and the resistance line at $8.71. $8.71. So you got that going on right there. All right. In the meantime, let's take a look at ARX. ARX. This is a I believe this is a Cayman Islands stock. This stock is from the Cayman Islands. All right, up 44%. Has news that Accelerant Holdings shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q2 financial results. Also, wouldn't be surprised if this was an acquisition play because it had a shot up and then basically just started consolidating along the VWAP right there. It does have a conference call currently in progress with Q2 earnings being released today before the market open. Let me take a look at the news and see if we could find some news of an acquisition, because I think there is an acquisition on this. Yep, it is. Accelerant enters into definitive agreement to be acquired by Thoma Bravo. So, that's what they got going on right there. That is what they got going on, ladies and gentlemen. Because whenever it has this big shot up like this, and then it just has those straight lines right there, I'm like, is this an acquisition play? You know what I mean? Because it kind of do be like that sometimes. It kind of do be like that. So, we got that going on right there. ARX. Alright. Price spike into consolidation along the VWAPA. Acquisition play. Alright. Acquisition play. That's ARX. Has a 56 million float, 10 million volume. So I'd say heavy float and low volume right there. That's what they got going on. That is what they got going on. And some better than expected Q2 financial results. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's take a look at GXAI. GXAI has a 10 million float, 37 million volume right there. Needs to break the downtrend right over here for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. It needs to break that downtrend. It needs to break above $1.39. $1.39, which is where the VWAP is right there. So GXAI did have some choppiness going on. GXAI. All right. It does have a 10 million float, 37 million volume, so the volume is higher than the float, so that's pretty good. But it needs to break that downtrend and needs to break above the VWAP at $1.39 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. So GXAI needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP at $1.39. All right. DFSC. That's DefSec Technologies Inc. All right. They have no RS concurrent with an offering right now. They are a Canadian stock. This stock is very choppy. Very choppy. Take a look at all the price, the little choppy indecisive wicks right over here. The price action is choppy, choppy, choppy. Not looking too schmexy to me. This is a Canadian stock with Q3 earnings that were released today before the market opened. But however, it is very, 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 very low in volume. Has a 3 million float, 99,000 volume. Not looking too schmexy to mya. That's DFSC, DFSC, choppy price action, and indecisive wicks. All right. Very choppy price action, indecisive wicks. Low volume. All right. And of course, with this stunk, yeah, just low volume. They got low volume. So DFSC, not my kind of stunk, truth be told. Not my kind of stunk right there. Let's take a look at LIMN. Let's take a look at that stock. 54 million. Float volume is 190 million as well. So we got that going on. However, this stock is forming a bit of a pennant right over here, a little bit of a descending wedge. So it has to break above this little descending wedge. Has to break above the VWAP at 16 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. All right, so that's LIMN. LIMN needs volume to break the descending wedge and the VWAPA right over there at 16 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya, ladies and gentlemen. To mya. Hold on. There we go. All right. All right. Oh, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, of course, be sure to share. Let's get a share party going on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 400, 400, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 400. Let's get that share party going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Hold on one second. There we go. There we go. Let's get that share party going on. Let's get to 400. 400. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. All right. XHG now up 614%. 614%. It just shot up like a Dickens and then pulled back a little bit. Formed a resistance right over here at $6.48. $6.48. Formed a resistance line right there. Bo Beef says, let's get to 420 for the memes, whatever that means. Ah. Hey, look, I wasn't the one that made that up. No, that was you.
Oh, yeah.
I taught you what that
I don't
means.
even know what a meme is.
Yeah, of course you know what a meme is. You make them all the time. In fact, you look at them all the time, too. You look at a bunch of Fortnite memes on TikTok. I don't want to hear it out of you.
Stop that. Stop it.
Exposed. Exposed them.
My TikTok.
Blowing up your TikTok. Yes, it's part of the...
Felix?
At DVLNix. At DVLNICKS, and the screen name is CoachNickMoney. Money! Yes. XH...
Money.
Money! Alright, XHG. Just shot up to 614%. Shot up. Yep, it shot up a nice 614%. All right, right there. Needs to break resistance at $6.48. Needs to break resistance at $6.48 for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. But it shot up a nice 614% right there. That's XHG. XHG. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir.
Go, baby.
Yes, sir. Woo! Alrighty. Oh, there's my. Is that my watch? That's my watch. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Beautiful. All right. Good. 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 All right. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. There we are. All right. Let me just get my juice real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Just gotta drink my juice a little bit. Hold on 1 second. Let me just get this drink. Woo! That's that stuff right there. That's that stuff. Okay. All right. Let's take a look back at FGI. FGI looks like it's trying to curl off that little downtrend that happened right there. It's bouncing off the VWAP, broke above the resistance at $8.71. Needs to curl back up and break $9.72 for it to be so much schmexy to me. And it looks like it's curling its way on up right there. FGI curling off the downtrend and broke resistance. Needs to break the high a day at $9.72 for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Needs to break that area right there. Needs to break above $9.72, which is the high a day. For it to be somewhat schmexy to me, has to break that high a day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We'll see what happens, though. We shall see what happens. CURI. What's going on with CURI? All right, let's take a look over here. All right. CURI on the downtrend, not looking too schmexy to meow. Not looking too schmexy to meow. Nah. All right. CURI needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA at $3.68. Needs to break that downtrend and the VWAP at $3.68 right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. OMER. All right. Curling its way on up slightly, but OMER does have one thing going on with it, and that is the fact that it is a heavy float and very light volume stock. I don't entirely trust this stock. It is moving up, but it's very, very choppy. So, it does have news that their shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q2 financial results. So that's good, but it is still very, very choppy in terms of price action, and it is a heavy float, low volume stock right there. So OMER, heavy float, and light volume. Expensive as well because, yeesh, it is a very pricey, it's a pricey little stock right there. All right. On the uptrend, on low volume. All right. So that's what it's got going on right there. It is on an uptrend, but it's on an uptrend on low volume, so I don't entirely trust it right there. That's OMER. Let's take a look at ARX. Oh wait, yep, that is the acquisition play. Excuse me. OFAL has Q3 earnings, which are unconfirmed, due in 12 days on August 25th before the market opens. So they got that going on right there. All right, looks like it's forming a bit of a pennant right over here. A little bit of a pennant. Has to break this pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. It is currently a little bit consolidated below the VWAP right there. A little bit consolidated below the VWAP. So OFAL needs to break the consolidation along the VWAPA and, of course, the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Alright. Has to break that VWAP at $1.80 as well as the pennant right there. Has to do those things for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 600. 600, 600, 600. Alright. Let's get that share party going on. Let's get that share party going on right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Alright. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got? Let's take a look at... Oh, XHG seems to be doing something. Hold on. Let's see what it's doing. Let's see what it's doing. Had a bit of a pullback, and now it looks like it's trying to curl its way back up a little bit. Looks like it's trying to curl its way back up a little bit. XHG looks like it's trying to curl. XHG trying to curl after pullback. So we got that going on right there. That's XHG. We'll see what goes on with it, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what goes on with it. Has to break above that 614% mark over there. And, of course, has to break above $6.48 for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. All right. Ooh, got that stretching. Yes, that's the good one right there. All right. Let's see about FGI. How's FGI holding up? FGI had a bit of a price spike up here, but then kind of consolidated a little bit. All right. Needs to break the pennant right over here. All right. And needs to break this resistance line at $8.97 right there. $8.97 needs to break that. FGI. FGI pull back. Actually, more like it just formed a resistance. Formed a resistance line at $8.97. Needs to break the pennant and the resistance line. And it looks like it is breaking that resistance line a little bit. Has to break that high a day as well at $9.72 for it to be so much maxi to me. That's what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Let's take a look at OFAL. OFAL needs to break that pennant still. Still needs to break the pennant and the 180 mark. OFAL still needs to break the pennant and the VWAP at $1.80 for it to be so much schmexy to me. That's OFAL. IVDA. IVDA needs to break the downtrend over here. Hold on. Alright, let's see here. Boom. Needs to break the downtrend right there. It needs to break the resistance line at 49 cents right there, which is where the VWAP is. So, IVDA needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP at 49 cents for it to be so much maxi to me. That's IVDA, IVDA, LIMN. Let's take a look. needs to break that descending wedge and the VWAP at 16 cents right there. LIMN needs to break the VWAP at 16 cents, as well as the descending wedge. Yeesh. Alright. So we got that going on right there. It needs to break that descending wedge, and it looks like it's trying to curl a little bit. It needs to break above 16 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to ya. DFSC. Again, choppy, not interesting. Let's continue on. How's GXAI looking? GXAI trying to curl off that downtrend right there a little bit. Needs to break that VWAP at 139. GXAI curling off the downtrend. Needs volume to break the VWAP at $1.39 right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 800. 800. Let's get to 800, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's get to a nice 800. All right. Let's take a look at LIMN. LIMN needs volume to break that descending wedge. LIMN needs volume to break the descending wedge and the VWAPA at 16 cents right there. All right. What's going on with DFSC? This one I do not trust. I don't trust this one. It has a price spike right now, but again, it's a price spike on low volume right there. DFSC price spike on low volume. All right, DFSC. $68 price spike on low volume. I don't trust this stock right here, ladies and gentlemen. Me personally, I don't trust this stock. I'm keeping an eye on it, but I do not trust it. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens, but it is having a nice little price spike right there. So we'll see what happens. We shall see. We shall see. GXAI has it holding up. Still trying to curl. GXAI still trying to curl right there. 3399 on Twitter asks for LNAI. LNAI. We shall take a look. 1 second right there. 1 second. Let me just put this up here. GXAI. Curling off the downtrend and still needs to break the VWAP at $1.39 right there. All right. Now, let's take a look at LNAI. LNAI. How's LNAI looking? All right. LNAI, as of now, this is an American stock down 5%. As of now, has a lot of chop going on over here. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated right here. A lot of indecisive wicks right over here. A lot of indecisive wicks over here. All right. A lot of choppiness and indecisive wicks over here. Same goes over here, as well as over here. A lot of choppiness to it. So as of now, the stock doesn't have much in terms of float. So we'll take a look over here. Excuse me, in terms of volume, the float is 4 million, which is a reasonable float. Volume, however, is 5,000. So as of now, it's a very low floated stock. A very low floated stock. Doesn't have much in the volume department right there. So has that going on. It has that going on, ladies and gentlemen. Not my kind of stock. LNAI needs volume and needs a lot of volume for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. So LNAI needs a lot of volume. Low volume stock needs to break the choppy price action and indecisive wicks for it to be somewhat schmexy to me, but it's going to need a lot of volume. It's going to need a lot of volume, ladies and gentlemen. That is what it's got going on. That's LNAI. LNAI as of now, so we'll see what happens there. Let me get a drink of the juice, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. Ooh, that's that stuff right there. Yes, sir. That's that good. Oh, my. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Let me just take a look at this over here. There we go. All right. Paradigm, says the juice. Hello, Paradigm. How you doing? Hello. Paradigm is saying the juice. Yes. 'Tis the juice. I drink it instead of the coffee. Strangely enough. Ah. Like you know what's weird is that I like coffee when it's ice cream, but when it's not, it doesn't taste like the coffee doesn't taste how it smells. I don't know why. I don't know why it does that. Too bitter, and they're like, oh well, you should put more sugar in it. I tried, man. If I put any more sugar in it, it might fill the entire cup. Then one person actually asked me, have you tried Starbucks in that case? I'm like, no. We're not gonna have sugar and 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 like a little bit of coffee. We're not doing that. I know that was shots fired. I'm sorry to you Starbucks fans over there, but you know, it is a lot of sugar and sugar and sugar and like a teeny tiny bit of coffee. All right. Paradigm says try and blonde roast. Why am I roasting? I don't want to roast a blonde. That's mean. That's mean. I don't know why I would do that, Paradigm. I don't know why you want me to roast blondes. That's very mean. She said, no, it's a type of bean. I know, I'm messing with you. I know, I'm messing with you, Paradigm. I know. All right. I might. Maybe. I do get my little boost from juice though, because I am an addict of the juices. I'm a connoisseur of the juices. I'm big on lemon juice, and when I say lemon juice, I mean lemonade, not actual lemon juice. You don't just drink that straight up. You absolute crazies. Why would you do that? Um, I like cranberry juice. I like grape juice. Let's get a share party going, by the way. I like the apple juice, orange juice. What else do I like? Grape juice. I love me some grape juice, especially when it's like the actual grape juice, like fresh. Because I had like grape juice, not like the manufactured grape juice. I mean like the stuff like they crush up the grapes. And there you go. You know what I mean? XHG, by the way, is now up 614%. Needs to break that 614%. Can it move? Can it move? It is a very weird stock. It's now 626% up, though. Again, this is a very weird stock to me. I don't understand. 626% up. So, you know, yeah. There you go. XHG ran up 626%. All right. So you got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. Hold on 1 second. All right. All right. All right. Meanwhile, Bobo Beef says mango habanero C4, baby. Bobo, You know, I do have a question, Bobo, because the last time I tried C4, man, I was itching like crazy. Because I know C4 Energy has, what is that called? What is that called, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on. Yes, what's it called? Doesn't it have beta alanine, which is an amino acid that would activate nerve receptors just beneath the skin, which creates paresthesia, which means that like you go and start itching. I don't know why you do this, Bobo. He said, "Yeah, beta alanine." I was right. Okay, yeah, yeah. I'm like, why? Why does it? I mean, doesn't that cause paresthesia? So you're gonna be itching, man. I don't know. I've had it before, and I was like, oh god, why my blood itching? Yeah, I know one guy. Oh, this guy was yeah. I saw one content creator, by the way. This guy was on TikTok. He took C4, mixed it with Monster and 5 Hour Energy. I'm surprised bro is still alive. Bro literally looked outside and started screaming. He said it's so bright outside. Meanwhile, it's nighttime, bro. What the heck happened to you? Oh, Lord have mercy. But anyway, while that's going on, FGI, let me take a look at FGI. Still needs to break that pennant right there. Still needs to break that pennant and hold above $8.71. Alright, so FGI still needs to break that pennant right there. FGI still needs to break that pennant right there. FGI still needs to break that pennant. Bobo Beef says the tingles and heart palpitations let you know it's working. Oh, I know. Oh, don't I know it? Don't I know it, Bobo? Don't I know it? But at the same time, we gotta question we gotta question these decisions, man. We gotta be like, the tingles and heart palpitations let you know it's working. Yeah. Bobo's like, Bobo's like, yes, good. If my blood itching, if my blood ain't itching, I don't want it. One of my friends said it made her teeth itch. I'm like, how does that even work? You know what? I don't ask questions. I don't ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1200. 1200 as FGI slowly tries to curl up again. Needs to break that pennant right there. Still needs to break that pennant right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Oh, wait. Wait. I accidentally X'd out of Twitch. Give me a second. There. Wait. Hey, Twitch. Give me that. Give me that. There we go. There we go. All right. But yeah. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1200. 1200. 1200. 1200. And yeah. As of now, DFSC. DFSC. Let's take a look at DFSC. See how it's doing. Again, this is a very... actually, the float... The volume now exceeds the float. So that's pretty good. DFSC. DFSC. I will give it credit where credit's due. DFSC. Alright. Gained volume. And volume is now higher than the float on the uptrend right now. So we'll see what happens. DFSC no longer choppy anymore. It's actually moving its way on up. Up 62%. Up 62% right there. So we'll see what happens right there. Yeesh. I don't know, Bubba. When I had C4, I was enjoying the Starburst flavor. Oh boy, that was, yeah, that was liquid crack. You know what I mean? DFSC up 75% right now. Currently climbing its way on up right now. 8 million float, 3 million vol. Excuse me, 3 million float, 8 million volume right there. There we go. DFSC now up 80%. Hit that 80% mark right there. DFSC now up 80%. It hit 80% temporarily. There we go. He like smacked that 80% mark and then pulled back a little bit. All right, let's get some support and resistance lines for this stonk now. All right. Needs to break above the high of day at $2.22. DFSC. DFSC needs volume to break the high of day at $2.22 to remain friends with the uptrend. As of now, there we go. That's what we got going on for DFSC. DFSC, there we are. There we go. There we go. GXAI, how's GXAI holding up? GXAI forming a slight pennant right over here. Slight pennant right over here. GXAI needs to break that pennant. Needs to break the pennant and the VWAP at $1.39. Form the pennant right there. Needs to break that pennant. All right, LIMN, LIMN. Let's take a look over here. Consolidated just off the pennant right over here, just off the descending wedge. Slight consolidation. Looks like it's trying to curl a little bit, but really needs to break that consolidation. LIMN needs to break the consolidation. And the VWAP at 16 cents. There we go. All right, that's LIMN, IVDA, India Victor, Delta Alpha. All right. Looks like it's trying to slightly curl off the downtrend. We'll see what happens. We shall see. But as of now, IVDA, slight curl off the downtrend. Needs volume to break the VWAP at 49 cents right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, DFSC, DFSC. Oh my, up 89% now. Up 89%. Oh my. Oh my. Broke the high of day. All right, DFSC broke the high of day, hit 89 cents, or excuse me, 89%. DFSC hit 89%. Broke the high of day at, broke the old high of day. Needs volume to break the new high of day at $2.35 for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Formed a slight resistance as well just below the high of day at $2.31 right there. All right, all right, all right. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, did you hear about that devil horn solar eclipse that happened in Spain? España. The Banger Nation was there for that. Yeah. Up 91%. Oh my. DFSC now 91%, 94%. Oh my. Climbing its way on up right there. DFSC up 94% right there. Presenta, presenta, presenta. DFSC, DFSC climbing up. Hit 94%. Broke the high day. Needs to break the new high day at standby $2.41. $2.41 is the new high a day right there. There we go. There we go. It's already testing it, ladies and gentlemen. Already testing it right there. There we go. There we go. All right. 95%. 95% now. Oh my. Needs to break $2.43 now. All right. Oh my. There we go. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just 8 minutes away from the bell. The bell! It deafens me. Has to hold above $2.15 on DFSC. Has to hold 215, break through 243 to remain friends with the trend and to remain schmexy to meow. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1600. 1600, 1600, 1600. Come on now. All right. GXAI, GXAI. There we are. Beautiful. Kikuk Netflixana. Thank you. I hope I pronounced your name right. Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love. Much love. Thank you, thank you. Dankeschön. All right. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right. Let's get that share party going. Let's get to 1600. 1600, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at LIMN. LIMN has a 54 million float, 206 million volume. LIMN. How's it going over there? Oh my, looks like it's curling off the descending wedge right there. LIMN curling off the descending wedge. LIMN curling off the descending wedge. All right. Needs to break the 16-cent resistance line. All right. FGI, FGI. All right, needs to break above $9.69. Needs to break above the pennant as well. All right, so FGI, FGI needs to break the pennant and the high a day at $9.69 right there. $9.69, ladies and gentlemen, $9.69. There we go. There we go. Kind of consolidated there. All right. There we are. There we are. Ooh. Get that stretch in for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, that's that stuff right there. We got 4 minutes till the bell. The bell. It deafens me. Ah. All right. Has to break above that area right there, but it looks like it's falling below $8.68. Needs to hold above that really quick. Needs to hold above it. Can it hold above that area? It's kind of consolidated into the VWAP right there. Excuse me, not the VWAP, the pennant. A little consolidated in the pennant. So, not looking too schmexy to me. Not looking too schmexy right there. No, no, no. Naughty, naughty. All right. All right, all right, all right. So, GXAI. Trying to curl off of that pennant right there. Oh my, it looks like it's trying to curl a little bit. GXAI trying to curl off the pennant. There we go. GXAI trying to curl off the pennant right there. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. That's GXAI, LIMN, LIMN. Alright, has a bit of a resistance waiting just below the VWAP. Got a little bit of resistance at 15 cents. LIMN. Curling up. Needs to break small 15-cent resistance and the VWAP at 16 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. DFSC, what's going on with it? DFSC hit 99% right there. Hit 99%. Oh my, could it be a bagger? Yes, it is. 100%. 100%. There we go. 101% right there. 101 presenta. Right there. DFSC. Now a new bagger. All right, call this one on the private Discord and on stream. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. But yes, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got going on. Up 101%. That was the high in which it moved. Needs to break the new high day at $2. Needs to break the new high day at $2.53 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. And now it's up 107%. DFSC. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We hit the bell. It's the bell. All right. DFSC hit a high of 107% right there. 112% actually. 116, 132, 143. 143%. Oh my. 143% on DFSC. Now up 143%. Called that. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. DFSC hit 143. Now it looks like it. No, didn't halt. Didn't halt yet. Did not halt yet. Oh my. Oh, whoa there, whoa there. Oh my. Hit that high day at 302, that $3.02 right there. Hit a new high a day at $3.02. Called that on stream and on Discord. How about that? Call that on the private Discord and on stream. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to get that free Discord to see the Discord exclusive live stream and occasional Discord exclusive picks, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to get the free Discord as well as, if you want, the 4-day trial. Get the 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Again, link to both of those is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, so be sure to check it out, ladies and gentlemen. If you just want a sample of what the Discord has to offer, get the free roll. It's free. It's a roll. Just click on it. Boom. You get your thing. You're good. You're good. Right? You know. But if you want the actual premium stuff, complete with all sorts of amazing features, such as scanners, newsrooms, right? Ticker tapes, all that good stuff like that, get the link. Just get the 4-day trial. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me when I tell you. All right? Yeah. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on our YouTube channel at CoachNickMoney. At CoachNickMoney, where we do all sorts of, live streaming, stock reviews, stock analysis, all sorts of good stuff like that. You can find us on X.com, aka Twitter, at CoachNickMoney. At CoachNickMoney. You can find us on Twitch at CoachNickMoney. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at CoachNickMoney. At CoachNickMoney, and you can find us on TikTok, Tiki-Taki, aka the Tac. You can find us there at DBLNicks, at DBLNICKS, and the screen name is CoachNickMoney. Money. All right, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us there doing all that good stuff right over there. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned as well for the 1:30 p.m. show, Power Play, hosted by the legend himself, CoachNickMoney, as he traverses the Power Hour, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he likes to do. He likes to traverse the Power Hour, and he gives his honest review of the stock, and gives his honest review and analysis of each stock before letting them simmer on high heat with a little bit of paprika, a little bit of sazon, turmeric, cumin, etc. All that good stuff while getting some dubs for the community in Fortnite, getting some dubs for the community right there. So that's what he's got going on. That is what the Coachmeister General has going on. All right. And of course, quick thing before we wrap up, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching and you're serious about trading small caps, don't just sit on the outside trying to piece it together, ladies and gentlemen. We have got a 4-day full access pass for only $9.99, and it's full access, so you come inside, you get to see how we actually operate live, how we structure trade ideas, you get to see how we map levels, how we think about risk, how we handle momentum. You get the next day early watch list, as well as the 24/7 market news flow, which is actually being shown on the right-hand side of the screen. All right, you get access to the ticker tape built to catch stocks when they're starting to heat up before they go parabolic. All right, you also get access to the pre-market, regular hours, and after-hours scanners with float, volume, catalyst context built right in, as well as hyperlinks, one of which is on the left-hand side of the screen. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, remember, this isn't noise, this is structure. So if that's how you want to approach this market, grab the 4-day pass and come see it live. And if you really just want a sample of what the private Discord has to offer, get the free roll, ladies and gentlemen. Get the free roll. Link is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. And when you comment, let us know you saw us on the stream. We'd love to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty much it from me. Much love. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. I'll see you guys at 1:30 p.m. for Power Play. Much love, everybody. Take care.